When people hear the name Andersonville, they often think they already understand the story. Overcrowding, starvation, disease, death, and all of that is true, but it is not the whole story. By the late summer of 1864, Andersonville Prison had become unsustainable. Tens of thousands of Union prisoners were confined there, and mortality rates were climbing rapidly. At the same time, General Sherman's campaign through Georgia threatened Confederate supply lines and exposed Andersonville to possible capture. Confederate authorities made a decision to evacuate a portion of the prison population. That decision was communicated to prisoners in a way that mattered deeply. Men were told they were being sent home. They were marched out of the stockade. They were placed on trains. For soldiers who had endured months of starvation, scurvy, and confinement, the meaning was unmistakable. Survival had finally paid off. But the trains did not carry them north. They carried them to Camp Lawton. Camp Lawton was a newly constructed prison near Millen, Georgia, designed as a replacement for Andersonville. On paper, it was larger and less crowded. In reality, it was unfinished, undersupplied, and incapable of caring for men whose bodies had already been consumed by prolonged malnutrition. Food rations did not improve. Medical treatment remained inadequate. Exposure, disease, and exhaustion continued. For many prisoners, the transfer was not a reprieve, it was a final strain their bodies could not survive. Levi Davis Green was among those men. What makes this episode especially difficult is not only the suffering, but the timing. Levi survived Andersonville long enough to be told he was leaving, long enough to believe that freedom was imminent, long enough for hope to return, just briefly, before being taken away. That moment matters. It reminds us that survival in Civil War prison camps was not only a physical contest, but a psychological one. Hope could sustain a man, but it could also break him when it was raised and then destroyed. If you want to explore this history further, including primary documents, maps, and detailed research on Levi Davis Green's imprisonment and death, you can find that material at alfredgibbs.com. I am, as always, your obedient servant, Sergeant Garland H. Green, Jr.